Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Thousands of Cubans have joined the biggest protests for decades against the island's communist government. They marched in cities including the capital Havana, shouting "Down with the dictatorship," a display of civil unrest rarely seen in the communist-ruled island nation. Footage shows what appears to be security forces detaining and beating some of the protesters. Cubans have been angered by the collapse of the economy, as well as by restrictions on civil liberties and the authorities' handling of the coronavirus pandemic. Deadly riots are continuing in South Africa as jailed former President Jacob Zuma challenges his sentence at a hearing in the country's top court. Footage shows people looting shops and setting fire to buildings. The police has opened fire on the looters and at least 6 people have been killed while hundreds have been arrested. The country has deployed the army to quell the violence. Unrest began last week after Zuma handed himself in to begin a 15-month sentence. Meanwhile, South Africa has extended the COVID-19 lockdown by another 2 weeks as cases continue to increase. The European Union is set to take the lead in climate policy action among the world's biggest greenhouse gas emitters this week. While temperatures are approaching 50 degrees in parts of Spain, the Fit for 55 package is set to be released on Wednesday. It is an ambitious plan designed to cut emissions drastically over the next decade, but will face months of negotiations between the 27 EU countries and the European Parliament. The bloc is also prepared for industry pushback. Police in Haiti have announced that they have arrested a doctor they believe is a key suspect in organising last week's assassination of President Jovenel Moïse. National Police Chief Leon Charles told a news conference the arrested man, a 63-year-old called Christian Emmanuel Sanon, entered Haiti on a private plane with political objectives. He explained the initial plan had been to arrest President Moïse, but said the mission then changed. The man is accused of hiring mercenaries to oust and replace Moïse. California is bracing itself for further scorching temperatures as Death Valley has recorded the all-time highest temperature for a third day on Sunday. Death Valley was again one of the hottest spots on the planet as a thermometer outside Furnace Creek Visitor Center showed 130 degrees Fahrenheit. The National Weather Service issued excessive heat warnings across much of the region and has cautioned residents that the high temperatures could be hazardous to their health, especially small children and the elderly. More than 12,000 Afghan families have fled their homes in Kunduz province as Taliban insurgents and government forces have battled for control of the southern fringes of the capital city. Video footage shows Afghan forces on the battlefield on the outskirts of the city as gunfire could be heard in the background. Taliban militants have already captured most districts in Kunduz province, but are facing resistance from Afghan forces and armed civilians in and around the capital. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.